I can't do this. Alone. I mean, I can't do this alone. And I'm not talking about vlogging. I absolutely adore working with other people. And one of the things I've learned about film is that filmmaking is collaboration. Minus that rare exception of the guy with the camera in his basement doing stuff. But on the whole, the process of telling stories through this beautiful medium of video is actually something that requires a team of people to work together to accomplish. When I was in college, I was a communications major, which meant I spent basically 4 years studying how to get along with other people. One of the most valuable classes that I ended up taking was one called small group communication. In it, we learned the principles of putting a small group together and then making those people actually work together to accomplish a common goal. And everything that I learned in that class, I have been able to apply one way or another to this team. The first thing I learned in that class that so clearly applies to filmmaking is diversity of skills. You want to fill your team with people that have different backgrounds and different skill sets so that you can then divide and conquer. For example, on a film set, you have a sound man, a director, a camera operator, a DP, a producer, actors. The list goes on and on. The point is that all of these people have different skill sets, and while they may be able to do each other's jobs to some extent, because cross-training is super common in film, every single one of them is going to be an expert in the area that they are working in, and that is a good thing. And because cross-training is so common, they'll have a cursory understanding of each other's jobs, and so they'll be able to actually work together and integrate those jobs seamlessly to create a finished product. So you have these two concepts of specialization and cross-training, which sound like they contradict, but they actually go hand in hand. But specialization of skills is not the only kind of diversity that you want to have on your team. You want to fill your team with people who disagree. Okay, I know that sounds super counterintuitive, but trust me when I say that I've seen the importance of this in action. Let me use an example. There is a very famous music group known as Pentatonics. They have 5 members. Of those 5 members, they have quite a diversity of musical backgrounds. To be specific, Avi Kaplan, who was their bass, was a classically trained vocalist. Kevin Osalua, who was their beatboxer and also a tenor, was also classically trained, but classically trained as a cellist, and then took up beatboxing and rapping for the fact that he liked it. And then you have the other 3, Scott, Mitch, and Kirsty, who all had more of pop training and inclinations, but even among the 3 of them have different preferences when it comes to music. I was listening to an interview with the 5 of them one time, and I think it was Mitch who said that if a creative music decision could get approved by all 5 of them with their widely varied musical preferences and opinions and backgrounds, then it was probably a good musical decision and would be widely appealing to a lot of people because it had already appealed to a wide variety of preferences within their own group. In my own experience, I was co-directing a project with a very good friend of mine, and we have very different perspectives on movies. He, despite being an actor, really had a mind and a perspective for camera work and what the camera can do to tell the story by its proximity and framing and where it wants to be. My brain always tends to be a lot more with performances and then continuity and how the story actually makes sense and works together. The script itself. We were co-directing, right? And we disagreed all the time. He'd want to shoot it this way, I'd want to shoot it that way. I thought this camera angle was fine, and he was like, no, we need to spend an extra hour getting just exactly the right camera angle. And I'd say that doesn't work in editing, and he would say, well, then we need to change the other thing to make it work in editing. And a lot of times we would either shoot both, or we would shoot something in between. And then as we got further along, we were able to kind of get an idea of more how our visions could work together to accomplish what we were trying to get. We were both wrong. A lot. But our finished product was a beautiful blend of our 2 visions. So you do want to fill your team with people who are willing to have creative disagreements and then discuss them, be honest and open with one another, and then learn from their own and each other's mistakes and see how you can work those things together to create a really cool finished product. I see this play out every day on the Building Characters team. On this team, we have a variety of different writing styles, different shooting styles, different editing styles, different preferences and what kind of movies they actually like to watch. As an example, Ethan and I have creative disagreements on how things should be shot all of the time, and we are learning from each other. The key to having a team that disagrees constructively is that you talk about it and you don't get offended by the fact that you guys disagree. Instead, you make sure all of your communication is open, truthful, and respectful. Ultimately, a good, diverse team is united by common values and a common goal. Here at Building Characters, we value good filmmaking, good storytelling, and pursuing excellence in all that we do. And our goal is to build up the Huntsville film community into something our city and ourselves can be proud of. So we want you. Right now, we are actively looking for people with skills in photography and sound who want to further expand their abilities in the area of film and work with a really cool team. If that describes you, send us a message. If that isn't you, spread the word. Help us find all the aspiring filmmakers in Huntsville. Let's build a team we can be proud of.